Good afternoon, I'm Belinda De Lasheras with Hunter News. The Greens have joined forces with Newcastle residents to demonstrate against the impending truncation of the city's heavy rail line. It comes after a carriage full of protesters caught this morning's Central to Newcastle-bound train in a show of political anger towards the move. Meanwhile, the New South Wales Supreme Court continues to deliberate handing down an injunction to prevent the Baird government cutting the line on Boxing Day. Greens MP David Shoebridge says they're sending a strong message to Macquarie Street.
Well, what this is a show of community support for essential public infrastructure right in the heart of Newcastle. And while we're in Newcastle making that statement, it's excellent to know that we've got Save Our Rail down in the Supreme Court in Sydney also fighting to keep the rail corridor open. And this is the community coming together to oppose and hopefully successfully oppose the government.
Hunter petrol companies are being challenged to match the savings offered to drivers at the Bowser in Sydney. Hunter motorists are now officially paying up to 16 cents per litre more on average for regular unleaded fuel than those in the state's capital. NRMA Director Kyle Loades says price reductions over the last week are a step in the right direction, but savings must be increased to create an even playing field.
Sydney generally is about in the range of 5 to 10 cents cheaper, but when we're looking at a 15-20 cent differential, the Hunter pricing is just way too high. The Hunter has got better in the last weeks, but there's a long way to go. We believe that Newcastle pricing should increase to under $1.20 per litre to be fair to Hunter motorists.
Sand removed from the Swansea Channel under the state government's $2.5 million dredging project is being used to build on dunes near Belmont Golf Club's 9 Mile Beach. It's expected to assist in the restoration of the dunes, which have been damaged by erosion, as well as protecting the golf club, with the channel to be open to boat users in time for the holidays. Hunter chairperson from the New South Wales Boat Users Association, Frank Downing, says the dredging work has made it smooth sailing through the channel.
The good news is that the channel is open. The reports that I've had from boats that have come through have been very good. So there's a channel at least 3 metres deep available right through the area of difficulty from Pelican through to the dropover.
Lake Macquarie Council has come under fire after threatening to shut down an ice vending machine in Swansea. It's believed council received a noise complaint about the machine, prompting them to email the owner regarding the machine's operation. While council hasn't asked for the machine to cease trading, it argues the device is operating outside the terms outlined in its development consent. Ice machine owner Peter Spiropoulos says he's been forced to shut down the machine before.
And then 5 years later, they've come out saying you've got to stop, which I did, and I follow all their stuff, but I've got no more money left. If you turn your business, shut your business down, well, so I've turned around and want to have another crack at shut me down.
Up to 4 members of Redhead's Surf Lifesaving Club have been honoured with New South Wales Rescue of the Month awards after coming to the aid of paddlers stranded in dangerous beach conditions last month. Tim Foran and Mark Eyre rushed out on rescue boards to save the paddlers, hampered by waves of up to 3 metres, prompting fellow lifesavers Chris Bird and Jeff Rodway to intervene, rushing out in an inflatable rescue boat which later capsized. Donations are now needed to replace the capsized vessel, which sustained around $20,000 worth of damage. The use of solariums for tanning will be banned in the Hunter from January next year. The blanket ban on the treatment, which is known to increase the risk of melanoma from high levels of UV radiation, has been widely supported. A Cancer Council survey has found up to 80% of adults agree with the decision. Cancer Council Regional Manager Shane Connell says the damage created by solariums is unnecessary and destructive.
Really, this is about protecting people from unnecessary UV damage, which of course we know leads to skin cancer. So we believe that by banning the solaria across New South Wales, that we're going to see those kind of risks and the subsequent skin cancer rates drop over the next few years.
Now with sport, Edie Dimer.
The Hunter football community is mourning the loss of former Socceroo and Olympian John Pettigrew. Pettigrew played 320 first-grade matches, including Australia's Olympic debut in 1956. A funeral service will be held today in Newcastle. Newcastle Jets midfielder Hayley Crawford and Emily Van Egmond have started preparing for the 2015 World Cup after being named in an interim Matilda squad. Meanwhile, the A-League Jets are parting with Northern Irish left midfielder Johnny Steele after finalising a release. And finally, former Newcastle Knights player Alex McKinnon has been named on Who magazine's list of most intriguing people. McKinnon has been an inspiration for the rugby league community since suffering a career-ending spinal injury in March this year. That's sport. I'm Edie Deemer.
2 in your RFM News Time is coming up to 12:09.